we'll start with the ones that we know are competitions. The place I wanted to begin was in Carolina, so I'll just throw it open to you. What have you made so far of? Are we going to include Corral? I'm not sure we really should at this point. It's kind of Baker, Darnold. What are your thoughts?
I really don't think we should include Matt Corral, given he was fourth on the field against Washington behind PJ Walker. So I didn't really watch a great deal of Matt Corral. I'll be brutally honest there. So I don't think he's in the mix, despite them weirdly trading a third-round pick next year to get him, and then we could spend all day on that plan. It's going to be Baker's job to lose, and I think the game plan against Washington was designed to try and make him look as good as he could. They gave him lots of easy buttons, I think, in the couple of series he had against Washington. It was quite simple. There was a stick early on. There was a mesh concept. He had a nice downfield ball that was broken up to Robbie Anderson. Lots of play action, lots of 11 personnel, stuff that's right in his wheelhouse. I think it just showed that it's his job to lose, and they're going to make it as easy for him as possible in preseason.
The thing that was weird about them, just holistically, big picture Panthers stuff, right? When we, like you said, we could get into hours on how they tried to construct this roster and particularly that position. There's something weird about that offense, right? There's no rhythm. Both guys were just crushed all day long, and it's week one of the season. The blocking mechanics of their run game, Michael, insert beep, is completely I don't know what is going like weird blocking structures that genuinely don't make sense at the pro level. And Ben McAdoo, who's running the offense now, people who have forgot that news story, the Rockstar OC they hired to run the ball more was Ben McAdoo, hired explicitly to run the ball more. And some of the structures in the run game, which is hard to get across in the podcast that I'd have to detail for you with video, is mental. That stuff does not happen in the NFL. Then you go into the passing game, and none of it flows appropriately. I don't even mean concept to concept. They're running all the stuff everyone's running. You detailed them there, right? Stick, mesh, dagger. It's everything everyone runs. It's as if they have no concept that the routes should function as one, right? They have a deep shot early in the game with Baker. It's quarter, half coverage, right? Quarter of the field covered, quarter of the field covered. Another DB is covering half the field deep down the field. What you want to do is attack the quarter section, right? That's where you can puncture through it. They're trying to figure out who's got who, and then do you clear it out? Do you drag someone away? There's different ways to attack it. And you want to hold the half-field guy, make that guy work in an ocean of space. They set up a play 3-by-1. There's a backside post attacking the quarter section, right? That's the ideal play call, a deep post. Puncture between the two, you have a natural leverage advantage on the outside guy. He doesn't know, do I take him or not? You angle out. He thinks, okay, it's my guy. Oh, wait, no, it's not. He's flipped inside. Perfect design. What you don't want to do is bring the guy on the other half of the field to the game. It makes no sense. The whole point is to run a deep comeback, some kind of nonsense that just says that I have to keep eyes on the other side of the field because there's 3 receivers there. I'm not sure how they're all going to break. The middle quarter guy is going to drag some kind of in-breaking route, right? And then we have a perfect hole where the boundary corner playing one quarter of the field has the wrong leverage on the play, right? Really simple stuff. They bring the guy from the opposite side of the field into the quarter because they run another deep post, deep breaking thing from the half side of the field. Now, that is fundamental basic football stuff. Right, it's really, really simple, and it's something that is not built into the construct of the defense. This was shown as a pre-snap shell. No one moves in preseason, right? Washington showed that pre-snap. If you don't have a quarterback who can ID that and figure that out, that is a massive, massive problem. And I say all that to say, all of that nonsense people don't care about is that I think Baker takes what you give him, like you said. That if you design open guys and guys are flying and crisscrossing everywhere and there's someone open, I think he can get rid of the ball on time, pretty efficiently, can get the ball out. I don't think he's in any way the playmaker people thought he would be coming into the NFL, me included. And then I think Darnold is a playmaker. Darnold misses all the easy throws and then hits 2. What the hell did he just do? Throws a game, right? And it kind of keeps you tantalized, like, ooh, maybe we should put Darnold in. So to me, it's like they're so fundamentally broken stylistically that I don't even think it's fair for Baker to be in that offense because I don't think it suits his skills.
Yeah, and you said mentioned about the protection. He was still there was loads of times where he was already running for his life, having to overcome it and make 3 yards on a scramble, which is not something when he was healthy he had to deal with in Cleveland behind that wall. So it's a real kind of adjustment for him. And then when you put Darnold behind a crumbling offensive line, it's not fun to watch, but it can be kind of amusing because he's an awful quarterback against pressure. So I think it's kind of Baker's by default, I guess, because Darnold's not going to look good consistently. He had the kind of the wow throw to Higgins on the touchdown against Washington. It was really nice touch and a nice placement on that ball, but it's just going to be too many errors. He's going to look so bad behind that line for him to really threaten Baker in any way, despite Baker being hamstrung by what you've just detailed.
I still think there's a bunch of issues with Baker. There's something weird with him. The footwork is all wrong. I mean, Michael can insert the clip from the last time I did this with him. There's like some of the stuff in the back end days in Cleveland was a horror show, and I assumed he would go away, break it all down, get with the quarterback coach, and come back at least in preseason week 1. When the bullets start flying in week 3 and there's all creative defenses, you think, oh shit, your foot can go, your feet can become a mess. Yeah. In week 1, for it to be just as frazzled, he just moves his feet too much. He looks constantly frazzled. There is so much wasted movement, and his accuracy vanishes. I went into that game thinking Baker. I think he should win that job. I'm kind of just like shitting on Baker, which I apologize for. Like, we're supposed to decide between the two of them. I do think Baker makes more sense. My concern is just that I think Baker could have been a good player this season somewhere, and I don't think this is the somewhere where he can be a true showing of Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, there's a team I'm going to talk about later that probably loomed to me as the one where he probably should have been. But yeah, it's Carolina. It's Matt Rhule's final year. Everybody knows that. It's probably not going to end very well. He's on a hiding to nothing, but he's going to win the job. He has to make the most of not a lot. There are some decent skill position players there.
So, in terms of the competition right now, you're saying Baker is ahead of Darnold, and you think his job to lose?
Yeah. You can't run. I think running into when you're fighting to save your job, putting Sam Darnold there behind that offensive line after already seeing that in the second year where you're in charge is, that's just malpractice. It's the Simpsons quote, the default, the two sweetest word in the English language. That's what Baker's winning by.